Good morning, guys. It's 6:43 a.m. Today is Friday, May 27th, and I'm recording the video for May 22nd, 26th actually, for Thursday, end of day. Okay, so today we talked about it. So in Discord, so first of all, very tricky now. So that was Wednesday's closing remark. Going to tomorrow and Friday, which is Thursday and Friday, okay, which is Thursday means today. I'm recording the video for Thursday end of day. So the goal is simple: as long as price is above haunting level, we have to assume buyers are there against mid-term sellers, right? So ES reach now for ES, right? So every bold R, what we discuss in this code is every bold resistance are good resistance, right? And price will try, to go to each one of the bold resistance, right? And then it may respond, and depending on the real-time situation, the response could be more or less, okay, depending on how buyers are pushing it from the below. All bold are important, see that, to defend, and it's up to intraday buyers in RTS to show the strength if they want to take those out in conjunction with NQ's buyers. See, so today is written in the notes are written nicely, in a way that I'm showing you both, that if say sellers are there because they are from midterm, buyers are there because they are immediately day trading perspective, they are active, so it's up, they have to show the strength in order to take out this R, and then I use word conjunction with NQ's buyer. Above hunting level, which is 10 to 32, or garbage range 10 to 65, right? I will favor buyers for the intraday perspective. See my clear statement. See that? So in a way I am saying above 39.65, right? That's the top of this all this thing. I will favor buyers intraday and keep an eye on NQ for my first trade in the morning. See that? Then I would assume ping pong may come due to amount of bold art above, right? Because there are 4 bold arts above, and that was my max target, 4100. That's the max one I was thinking if price choose to go higher. Okay, so these are the bold arts basically, 14, 42, 62, 19. Okay, buyers are trying to take either all of those R or one of the R. See that? So price went all the way up to, I think, up to here in between somewhere, right? So now these are the pending resistances, and depending on the real time. So ES is pretty much clear, right? Above 65 favor buyers. NQ's range is this, right? Within that range, these are the haunting levels. Okay, so yesterday's low was 900, 899, which is still above haunting level. That was my long entry, pretty much, So I entered at 914, right? But very powerful. See that? And above hunting level and Globex low, either one, buyers have a slight control from day trading perspective. I prefer to favor buyers today above Globex low for the first trade of the day, right? And that was my first trade, right from 914, right? And I was also looking for trend up day or down day. That was the statement from yesterday. Where is it? I must have written somewhere. Where is it? I forgot to put it here. So yesterday, okay, here, continue to look for trend down or trend up day signs till Friday. See that? So, and that was the whole idea yesterday when I took the trade. I was looking for 300 in NQ. So I think I might have mentioned it somewhere, NQ's level exactly. So then dream numbers area is very important, because it is 876 to 900 area. See, this 900 was my dream number. The moment price bounced from it, and the moment it goes above 918, I went long. Slight pause, like on the way. So 914 was my entry. Now break below this area, it's the first weakness in the overnight, right? And then on the way up, now look at this beauty of these things. Price may get responses from sellers around 77, 210, 333. See, this was the high of the day. That was my target for that 914 long, right? But me being me, so my first target was this, which was 221 risk reward, right? And then it was 1030, and the way price straight up shoot into these things, shoot up into straight into this. And I don't trade after 1030. I can hold my trade after 1030, but since I was going out for my gardening work and it was 221 and it was straight up, I didn't want to sit through the pullbacks, right, and manage it, so I just went out here. But in Discord I said this is my target, but at that time also Russell and Dow was hitting some resistances, right? So I was thinking it may pull back a little bit, and then do some balance and then go higher. So I said, just bail out here. It was good 160 points, straight in like 10-15 minutes. So I just bailed out here. But that was my target in Discord, as in whatever I said in the Discord, that 300 is the area that they are looking for. And that was also written in the pre-market notes in the chart itself. I'll show you. Russell Dow, I'm going to scroll through it. I'm not going to talk about it. But I think Russell, I said 1794. Stay long above 1794, right? So Russell right of the open went through this area, and this, it held these things, right? So Russell was favoring longs. Dow was also favoring long above this, right? See that, stick with long. Crude also the same thing, long, right? So knots were clear today, and price moved in the way I was thinking, right? So you can look this in Discord also. We discuss about this, that backup buyers area is 850 to 900, right? And the preferred area is this 918, right? So for buyers, I didn't talk about sellers here, right? And then what happened? Before open, price came down straight here, right? Right here it opened it at 918. So price opening up into support, and we know buyers are active from FOMC, right? So, and this is a preferred buyer area. So similar to this NQ, ES has a preferred buyers area of 85, and then backup area was 60 to 68, which is this, similar to this, right? What we discuss in Discord in addition to pre-market notes and these things, and see here, this was a note written at 6 o'clock when I published the notes. About this area 77, they are looking for 300 or so eventually, right? And 300 I give you rough number, but 333 was the level, which is this right here, and you can see it, 337 or 8, right? And that was the high of the day. See that, how you can predict something, but we are not in a prediction business, but at least you have some probability to know in advance. If the trend day up happens, price goes above this, what is the likelihood of hitting this next target, or what they are looking for, So, but anyway, what we also discuss in Discord is, I do not want, I specifically repeated this statement 3 times, what I'm going to tell you, that I do not want price to go below preferred buyers area. So basically I do not want price to go below 85 and this 918, in order, if they wanted to go towards 300 eventually, and this, today I really want these guys to hold these things. I do not want them to even come down here, because when they come down here, that means they are a little bit weak coming into backup area. Yes, they may defend and then eventually go higher, but then it's like, it's a risky proposition at that point. You can still go long, but then there is no guarantee, because this preferred area for buyers will turn into sellers area, right? So that's why I repeated it 3 times, that I want price to hold above this area, buyers to hold above this area, hold above this area, and we also talk about, I think, 90-92 area. So that's why combining, if you combine all these things, right, and this exhaustion into 900, see here I could have gone long right of the open, right, but then I didn't want to go long right of the open, because overall it's a seller's market in general, right? So I wanted to see what it does here. The moment I see bounce from 85, bounce from 900, right, and then all I wanted to see is what, price going above this area, preferred buyers area, and there was a VWAP also here, right? So right here, the way it happened, like touched here and then immediately pop back up over 900. See, look at these sellers, they were so strong, right? They sliced through the VWAP and all this thing here, and then slice through 918 right of the open, right? So if they are strong, you will see a straight fall here, but instead it bounced right here and went above 92. That was my long at 92 right here, right here, and here also, right? And then second long was right here. We talked also this thing in Discord, that when price went above this bold R, right, it already responded here once. The moment it went higher, now I know by looking at this that buyers are in control. The moment it went above this, I said 10 to 13, it's a good long, and buyers should hold this 10 to 13, and worst case 7, 07 is the level I gave. So 07 or 10, they should hold above it. If they really want to go higher and this is a legit move, they should hold it, and then you can see this was a long here. You have to put your stop below 07, and then you can go long here, and then target this board area if you want to, right? And then 20 also you can target, up to you. So, and then here you see the pause, right? Remember I said every board R you will see a pause, and the type of reaction from each board R, it depends on how the intraday buyers are, price is coming there, but you can see it's a trend day. Right here I say it's a trend day up situation, kind of, it's developing, right? So because look at this momentum, completely to the upside, ED completely strongly bullish, right? So, and open drive up, so it's a trend day situation, right? So it may not respond here, so you have to wait for a pause. So the moment it pause here, right, I said from here onward I said no shorts today, right? So we are not shorting here, we're looking for longs, even though indicators or whatever you're using, it shows you some short signal here, forget it, look for longs at every damn pullback. So before at 10:30, so here I left at 10 o'clock, for my gardening work. But here I said look for intraday pullbacks, and technically you can buy, that is what the statement I used, technically every pullback you can buy and you can bail out at the end of the day, all your contracts. And you can see it, pullback, boom, slice through it, turn this area into support, right? So now by this time it didn't even responded a lot, that means it's gonna go to the next level, bold R, right? Bold R to bold R, this is the long, bold R, bold support, right? And then at here 73, where what time was it, 1 o'clock, right? So 1 o'clock you can see it, NQ reach where, 300, that's it, that is your end of day now. There is no point trading further, why? Because that is what I said, 300 or so eventually, that means they reach their target for the day. At this point you can't use the long here and look for a moon, right? Because this guy already reached the target, so you may expect a ping pong. So now there is no point trading here, and you can see it, it's ping pong, see that? So you need to know where it should go. So ES, technically I was looking for ES to go into 90s now, right? So 70 was a poor area, right? But now due to NQ it may not go there now, right? So there is no point going long here and look for 90. You are looking, because there was no major pullback here, right? So it may pull back, so no point trading after this point, right? NQ, you can basically look at this, our levels, 135, pause here, right? Slice through it, turn into support, went to the next level, 208, right? Even it tried to turn into support here, right? But look at this, it barely went above it. See here, look at this, it went so higher, right? And then pull back. Here it barely went above it, right? So you can't go long here, and then it just slices through it, right? So you don't do anything, but then you can use this intraday high as a support and see, watch it. See, it held it and then went back up. Now you are ready to go long somewhere into this area, right? And then you can target this level or next level, whatever, right? But that's how you do it. NQ, when it reached here, went above Globex high, right? Here also I said it's really, if NQ's buyers are strong, they should hold above Globex high right here. That was the long also, right? Along with the ES, these things. And those are the longs today, right? Easy peasy. So we captured from here to here, right? Pretty much, and right from the get-go. But it was contextual alignment, So price action was in line with context, whatever we thought, you know, or probability wise, right, of the open, before open and in the pre-market notes, everything was playing out. That's why it makes sense to go long and hold it, you know. Now Mboxwave, right? So Mboxwave also has a signals, right? But signals was not there, so I did not use Mboxwave to pick up this long, you know. But later on I looked at it, right? So here the idea was you have to read this price, right? So you can draw a box here, see that? So because you can see price was chopping around here, right? So, and then you can see if you add up all this delta to the upside and downside, downside has a more potential to go down because downside delta was more, right? They were more actually. So if you add 154, 412, 38, 58, 124, you know, overall. Then also if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, right? The upside X control versus downside X control, right? So in this box, downside was more favorable choice. You know, sellers were more in control. Okay, so that is what I was reading, right? But then I also knew that these are the backup buyers area and preferred buyers area. This entire all this 1, 2, 3, 4 lines pretty much, right? So I know there are buyers, hidden buyers here sitting there. You know, that's why you are seeing those bounces, right? But at the same time, somehow these sellers were, you know, around 990. These sellers were selling it, right? So fine. Of the open, right before open, what happened? Price sliced through these things, right? With X control and pullback algo, double algo, correct? So now the idea is based on the Mbox only. Okay, I'm just saying showing you based on Mbox view. Okay, not I'm forgetting the bias for now. Assuming these levels are not here, you know, that's how you have to look into it, right? If you really want to trade only Mbox and forget about the levels and bias, right? Then you can see it. Okay, so now sellers are in control, correct? And when this breakdown happen, right, finally you can short here in pre-market, right? Assuming you don't know about the levels and bias. Okay, so let's say you short here, and the expectation is you have to have some expectation, right, that it will now go through the Globex low, which is 850, right, or at least come there, right? That is the expectation. So, and then price came down, right of the open, you see this X control, right? Now you are happy by looking at this. You are happy that damn, look at some selling came, you know, blah blah blah, right? Now you are happy, correct? So but then what happened? Now it should go down with these things. Now after reading this story, right, sellers are in control, we took this short here based on Mbox, right? Only Mbox, no bias, nothing. And now it with these things it went down. It's supposed to go down, right? And now you are happy. What happened? Look at this candle itself. Look at this selling and all this thing favoring more selling, right? And look at this size of this candle. Look at how it didn't even go below this, any like barely 10 points, right? And then immediately you see what? X control up. Look at this delta, 537, highest delta of this, right? And then what happened? Nothing. That is the sign something is off. You should be out. Or even put your stop. Let's say if your stop is here, you move it down to break even, right? So, and then what happens? Immediately pop up. Look at these things, buying. Look at this selling. See that? Look at this selling and look at this buying, right? And then, so at this point, at least you know something is off. The moment it took you out, your stop, your break even, you know something is off, right? But still there is no signal because it's overall sellers market. They can even sell it here also at this level, right? Or at this level too. Who knows, right? This is could be a trap too. By looking at this, yes, it's favoring buyers, but you can't go long here, right? But you can now you can argue, you know, as much as you want. You can say, you know what, man, this is a mini balance, you know, and since these guys, you know, I'm like me, somebody else is shorted here, you know, they took it out, maybe I can go long here. Sure, you can go long at 928, which is right here, fine, right? But try to follow the same process every day, and then you will see you will fail. That is not a consistent setup to go long right here, because there is no more information except these things, that yes, these sellers failed, but there is no guarantee that these sellers will not step in, right? So based on the pure Mbox, based on only this X control, you can't go long. And this, look at so many days, go back in the past and look so many days. There are so many days when price, you see this scenario and price failed immediately, because it was a trap for buyers, because you don't know bias, you don't know the context, So that's why it's important to know the context and everything else. See, in this context, if I plug in now the bias and context, then I know I can go long right here, and that is what essentially I did without even looking at Mbox. I just I just went long based on my bias, and the levels. But anyway, so for real Mbox long was right here, because that's where price already proved it, by looking at open drive. Now you are seeing buying, this imbalances, delta is moved, you can see so much buying here, right? That is the sign. Now it's a time, after looking at this candle, when it is above all these things, all these sellers are gone now. Now you are looking for mini pause, which is this, right at this top. You defend the top, because based on the strength, you can decide whether you want to defend the top, you want to wait for a more pullback right here, all these things. But here in this case, this makes sense, Now you hold on to it. So if you go long here, your stop is 890, right? You go long at 990, 100 point stop. You look for what? 2 to 1 at least, or 1 to 1, right? Depending on how you trade it, right? But if you do 2 to 1, which is right here, 2 to 1, 190, and then you bail out, and that's it pretty much. And you can see it by this time, you can see this mini buying. See, there is no buying here. Look at this going down. See that? So that's another confirmation. Look at this selling, highest selling of all these things. See, so you can bail out here, right? 2 to 1, and that's pretty much it. That was the trade. And that be all.